All right, so that whole downloading abs from an app joke.
Yeah.
That's going around.
Right.
It's funny because it's kind of true. Like, you already have abs.
You do.
Unless something really weird happened, you've got abs, right? Like, they're there.
Yeah, barring some kind of crazy accident or something like that.
Right, exactly.
Everyone has abs.
So the question is why you can't see them.
Right.
And that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are interested in that regardless of where they are in their fitness journey.
Yeah.
Like, how do I see my abs?
Right.
Like, what is this? Like, what is the secret?
Yeah.
And today we're gonna look at that, and we're gonna use some good information to do that.
Exactly. We're gonna try to cut through all the noise and all the, the bro science and all that stuff.
Yeah, all the crazy stuff out there.
And we're gonna go to a good source.
Yes.
We're gonna do a YouTube video. This is from Chris Williamson's channel.
Yeah.
And it's called Everything You Need to Know About Getting Six-Pack Abs, Exercise Scientist.
Love it.
So we're going right to the expert.
That's right.
Here,
yeah.
an exercise scientist.
To really try to get down to the bottom of this.
Okay.
And right away, like the first thing that they hit you with in this video is this idea that, this is something that comes up a lot in like the bodybuilding community is that, abs are made in the kitchen, not the weight room.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's this idea that like getting visible abs is primarily about
body fat.
Lowering your body fat.
Exactly, through nutrition.
Diet, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're gonna dig into that. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about why that's the most important thing, and then we're gonna talk about what is the role of training your abs directly.
Right.
Maybe it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah.
As you think it is. Maybe it is. Who knows? We're gonna dig into that, and then we're also gonna talk about some surprising ways that your abs might be getting a workout.
Yeah.
Without you even realizing it.
Right.
So that should be interesting.
Love it.
Yeah, so let's talk about body fat first.
Yeah.
The video just comes right out and says it.
Yeah.
Like, the reason that you don't see your abs is because there's a layer of fat on top of them.
Right.
Forget about all those ads you see for like, this exercise, or this food is going to give you abs.
Yeah.
It's all about just, getting rid of the body fat that's over your abs.
It's like having a blanket over a statue, right?
It's like having a nice sculpture.
Yeah, you can't appreciate the definition of the sculpture if it's covered by a blanket.
Exactly. And they make the point in the video,
mm-hmm.
Once you get lean enough, whatever your ab structure is, you might have a 6-pack, you might have an 8-pack, you might even have like what the expert kind of jokingly says, a 2.5-pack.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that's what's going to show through.
Right.
So
you're kind of predisposed to a certain...
Genetics play a role.
A certain look.
Yeah, genetics play a role, and that's what's going to show up.
Totally.
When you get lean enough.
Absolutely.
But if we think about, kind of even taking a step back from that.
Right.
Even if you don't have, what they jokingly refer to in the video is like ravioli abs.
Yeah.
Like those super defined abs.
Right.
Like, generally speaking,
yeah,
having a lower body fat percentage is going to lead to a smaller waist.
That's right.
And that is just, it's pretty universally seen as attractive.
It is, yeah. It is. I would say that there are some exceptions to that, I think, culturally.
Sure.
But by and large, a smaller waist is going to be seen as more attractive.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because the video makes this point about this. And I found this so fascinating that like, in the hairy bear community,
mm-hmm.
in the gay subculture, there's actually like an appreciation for like a gut with abs.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
So it's like
gut with abs.
It's so interesting how like different people have different ideas about what is aesthetically pleasing.
Right. And that's such a great point because I think when we get so focused on 6-pack abs, it's easy to think like, oh, this is the only way to be attractive or this is the only like, desirable physique.
Right.
But that's just simply not the case.
Totally.
There are lots of different
preferences.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what might be considered really attractive in one subculture or one group of people might be totally different for another group of people.
In another group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just an interesting little aside.
Yeah, good little aside.
But I think, for most people listening, probably the main point still stands.
Right.
That you need to reduce your overall body fat.
Absolutely.
Really see your abs.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about
let's
training abs directly.
Oh, okay.
is that even necessary?
Yeah.
Just to see them.
Good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the video makes this point that if you get your body fat low enough,
yeah,
your abs will show up, whether you've been doing hundreds of crunches or not.
That's right.
You know? So just for visibility,
yeah,
direct ab training isn't essential.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
But then this is where it gets kind of interesting. Is like,
right.
What if you want more than just to see your abs?
Yes.
What if you want like bigger abs?
Right. What if you want them to really pop?
Yeah. What if you want like, they were talking about in the video, like those really defined ravioli abs.
The ravioli abs.
Yeah.
Like really like chiseled.
Yeah. Then what do you
Right.
have?
Then you have to start thinking about hypertrophy.
Exactly.
And,
So this is where, actually training your abs
right.
to get bigger is important.
Yeah.
And the video really emphasizes like you should treat your abs like any other muscle.
Like any other muscle. Yeah.
You're trying to grow.
Right.
So you're talking about training them, 2 to 4 times a week.
Right.
Multiple sets.
Yeah.
Taking your sets close to failure.
Close to failure.
Full range of motion.
Full range of motion.
Big stress.
Very progressive overload.
That's right.
Making them harder over time.
Yep.
Whether that's adding weight or doing more reps.
Absolutely.
Or, whatever you're doing, just make it harder over time.
Yeah. And the thing about abs is that, planks and crunches and twists, they'll do stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily the best for really like building huge slabs of muscle. Yeah. So if you're really trying to, get those abs to really pop.
You probably want to add some resistance.
You really got to, look at more resistance-based exercises.
Exactly.
Just like you would with any other muscle group.
Right.
That you're trying to, to grow.
Yeah.
One of the other cool things that they mentioned in this video is that even if you're carrying a bit more body fat right now.
Yeah.
And your abs aren't visible.
Right.
It's still a good idea to train them now.
Yes.
Because when you do get leaner,
right,
they're going to look more impressive.
Yeah. If you've got that muscle built.
Yeah, so you're building that foundation
of
muscle now so that later when you do get leaner, you've got something to show for it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like, you're laying the groundwork.
It's like building the frame of a house before you put the walls up.
Yeah, exactly. And they even talk about, can training your abs make them more visible?
Yes.
Even if your body fat is still high?
Yeah.
Good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's I think what a lot of people want to know.
That's what a lot of people want to know, right?
They're like, if I train my abs, am I going to be able to see them?
Yeah, can I get away with, not getting super lean?
Yeah.
And still seeing my abs?
Yeah.
And they do say.
And the answer is?
I do say, yeah, for sure.
To a degree.
To a degree.
It's not going to be like a huge difference.
Right, it's not a night and day difference.
Yeah, but they say,
But it might be a little bit.
It might be like a 1 to 3% difference.
Yeah. And I would say anecdotally, like just from my own experience, like I have noticed that when I'm training abs consistently, like they do look a little bit better, even if I'm not like super shredded.
Mm-hmm. It's like they're a little bit more, like you can kind of see them a little bit more.
Yeah, you can kind of see like a little bit of a shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not.
But it's not like
a 6-pack.
It's not a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And they also make the point that, that doing too much ab training, if you're not, if your body fat is not low enough, could actually make you look like you have more of a pooch.
Yes, that's right.
Which is not
what most people want.
Yeah, not what most people are looking for.
Right.
So it's kind of like
it's a trade-off.
Yeah, it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
But, it's interesting that it does make a difference.
Yeah.
But it's not a huge difference.
Right.
And this kind of leads us to this.
Right. And let's talk about the other way. You're probably training your abs without even realizing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This was like a light bulb moment for me.
Yeah.
In the video.
It's through compound exercise.
Compound exercises, yeah. And they talk about how, when you're doing heavy lifting.
Right.
Especially exercises where you need to keep your core tight and braced.
Yes.
You're actually working your abs pretty hard.
You are. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they use the example in the video of like you doing really intense leg workouts.
Yeah.
Where you're, with a long eccentric, like a slow controlled lowering of the weight. Like think about when you're doing a heavy squat or a deadlift.
Right.
Like your whole midsection, including your abs, have to fire.
It has to
keep your spine
braced.
stable.
Yeah.
and protected.
That's right.
So you're actually engaging your abs,
Right.
Isometrically for that whole time.
Right.
You're
not moving through a range of motion.
Yeah, it's like holding a plank.
Yeah, exactly.
But for a long period of time.
You're a long time. Yeah, and that can actually really stimulate your
frauds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy in the video, he's like, he was looking at himself in the mirror the other day.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've noticed more veins in my lower abs.
Yeah.
And I haven't been doing any ab exercises.
Yeah.
I haven't been dieting.
Yeah.
And he's like, why is that? And he's like, it's because I've been doing all this heavy leg training.
Yeah.
With, really slow negatives.
With slow eccentrics, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just interesting to think about that.
Yeah.
Like you might be getting this ab workout without even realizing it.
Exactly.
If you're doing...
Yeah, if you're doing those big compound lifts.
Yeah, if you're doing those big compound lifts.
Squats, deadlifts.
Yeah, overhead presses, things like that.
You're probably getting more ab work than you realize.
You're probably getting way more of an ab workout than you realize.
Right.
And they even talk about in the video how, our priorities with ab training might change.
Yeah.
Depending on our goals.
Right.
It
makes sense.
And he uses himself as an example.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a competitive bodybuilder. Like, I've already got pretty well developed abs.
Yeah.
So, like, for me right now, focusing a ton of time and energy on training my abs isn't the best use of my...
It's not the most efficient thing.
My time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've already got them to where I want them.
Yeah. He's like, my abs are already, meeting my needs.
They're meeting my current needs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he's like, in the future,
right,
I'm planning to train them differently.
That's right.
I'm planning to train them more for functional strength.
Yeah.
Because he wants to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And he's like...
To build that anterior chain strength.
Yeah, he wants to strengthen that anterior chain.
Exactly.
So it's just interesting to think about,
Well, like, always about...
Yeah, like your goals can dictate...
Sometimes it's about function.
Yeah, how you train.
Totally. And that brings us to okay.
Right.
So what are your goals? Like, are you trying to just see a little bit of definition?
Yeah.
Are you trying to get ripped? Are you trying to get crazy strong?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
And then once you know what your goals are, then you can kind of, figure out how to train.
Tailor your approach.
Yeah. And they make the point in the video that if your goal is to, see a little bit of definition without, having to make huge sacrifices with your diet.
Yeah.
Ab training can help with that.
Sure.
But it's important to be realistic about
right.
how much of a difference it's going to make.
Yeah. It's not going to be a night and day difference.
Yeah, it's not going to be a massive difference.
It's not going to be the thing that puts you over the edge.
Yeah.
But it's going to help.
Right.
Yeah.
But they emphasize training them.
Right.
Using resistance.
Yeah.
Training them like any other muscle.
Yes.
Full range of motion. They give the example of
ab wheel rollout.
The ab wheel rollout. Yeah. They're like, this is a really good...
I love ab wheel rollout.
Exercise.
Yeah.
For really working your abs.
Yeah, it really hits that full range of motion.
Yeah.
And
just through range of motion.
It really forces you to brace.
Yeah.
And it's a good one.
And they just keep hammering home this point.
Yeah.
That, the impact of ab training on whether or not you see your abs is still way smaller.
Yes.
Than the impact of just
body fat percentage.
Body fat.
Yeah. So much of it comes down to just how lean you are.
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's really the key.
It is.
So, okay, so let's just sort of recap here.
Yeah.
Sum
it up.
What do we learn from this deep dive?
Yeah. What are the key takeaways?
The big takeaway is seeing your abs is primarily about body fat.
That's right.
It's about having less body fat covering them.
Yep. You could have the strongest abs in the world.
Yeah.
But if they're covered with a layer of fat...
You're not going to see them.
You're not going to see them.
And then the second point is, while it's not the main driver visibility, training your abs directly with resistance can make them bigger and more defined.
That's right.
And that might help you to see them a little bit.
Yeah.
At a slightly higher body fat percentage.
Right.
But still,
it's marginal.
It's not the main thing.
Right. It's not the main thing.
And then the third point is, don't forget about those heavy compound exercises.
Right.
They're giving your abs a workout too, whether you realize it or not.
Whether you're thinking about it or not.
So, the main thing that I hope that you take away from this is that like understanding these like core principles is really what allows you to approach your fitness in like a smarter way.
In a smarter way,
Like whether your goal is to just see a little bit of definition or to get, a full-on six-pack or just to have a stronger core for everyday life or for sports or
better activities,
once you kind of understand these principles, you can make better decisions about your training and your nutrition.
You can tailor your approach based on what you're actually trying to achieve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll leave you with this.
Yeah.
We talked about how even unintentional contractions of your abs during those heavy lifts can have a noticeable impact.
Yeah. Right.
So think about this. How would being more aware of how you're bracing and engaging your core during all of your exercises? Not just the ones that you think of as ab exercises.
Right.
How would that change your results?
Yeah. Like if you were really mindful about bracing during every single exercise, how would that change the way your core looks and feels?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about.
It is interesting to think about.
Yeah.
So that's something to ponder.
Yeah, I like that.
That's as you, continue on your fitness journey.
Yeah.
So that's it for today.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll catch you next time.
See.
All right. Bye.